Some sections are much larger than others, like HR it's a lot, so we'll probably do HR by itself. Get the committee to approve it, but don't take it to the full board until all the policies are complete. And we hope to have that done by July 1. That's the plan, if not sooner. So board members, if you look in your packet, your brown folders right here, those are the first set of policies that we're going through. Please read them, go through them. You got any comments or questions or concerns? This is where we make those changes at. And then we're gonna bring it back to the board meeting next month and ask the policy committee to approve those policies, the first set of policies that we have. And then we'll park it and wait till the full board meeting. So, any questions about how, the process? Okay.
Okay, I first of all, I wanna say something because I am the, chairman of the policy committee. I have some things I need to say. First of all, Mr. Creel, I wanna tell you that I want to apologize to you. And I'm the type of person, if I feel like I've done something wrong, I'm not gonna call him at his house. I'm gonna apologize to him for exactly where we had that, little conversation.
Okay.
Because Mr. Creel has really been good to me. Now, we've had some hard times in the past, but some hard ones. But you know, we worked that out. You have to forgive people. He forgave me, I forgave him. And he's been extra good to me. But I do wanna tell you also, Mr. Creel, it wasn't you that I was really talking about. It
Well,
really wasn't you. You got in there because your name came up, but I'm
Right.
still apologizing to you. It was not about Mr. Creel. It was about the procedure, and I'm still going to say, I called the ethics board today. I didn't get a call back. I was hoping I would get a call back before 5 o'clock because I just feel like things aren't being done correctly here. And I'm gonna tell you, if I have to stand by myself and I think I'm right, I will stand by myself. I'm not gonna do something that I know is right, wrong rather, and everybody else is gonna go for it. That's on you. I love the Lord loves me, and I'm gonna try to do the right thing. So, anyway, I was really, really just distraught and upset at the last meeting simply because, Mr. Cates had come to me and he was saying that he wanted Reverend Cook. I don't have a problem with Reverend Cook. We've gotten along. I don't have anything against him. But again, he got caught up. It wasn't about him. It was about Paul, what he was doing. And then I also didn't understand that everybody voted, you know, to give him that position, except me. I voted no. And, because I voted no, not against him, but I just did not, think it was right. And the thing that really got me, I just don't know what it is about Mr. Cates, the reason he doesn't like me, and I really don't care. But what happened was, he said that they would be leaving, the board members would be leaving, the ones that had served more than 2 terms, and that would be everybody, but it wasn't me. I've only served 2 terms, so I have another. And it's like it was a slap in my face, not that I wanted to be vice president, because I knew how to do just like him, beg people. But it wasn't that, it was just, I thought it was not the correct way to do it. The second thing is, how are you going to get a vice president and the vice president is still in his position? And I personally asked Mr. Creel, Mr. Creel, have you resigned? He said, no, but I got my letter. I mean, that's good, but he didn't turn it in, so he hadn't resigned. So right now we got 2 vice presidents. I don't like the way things are being done. I've been quiet, you know, since Dr. Hurst has been here, trying to do the right thing, but you people won't let people do the right thing. You just won't allow it. But again, I'm saying, and I am gonna write the ethics board. I was waiting to call. I thought I would have some information for the board tonight, but I don't. But I am gonna write the ethics board. I just feel like what was done was just illegal and wrong, 200%. Thank you.
Okay, you wanna say
Yeah.
something, Mr. Creel?
Ms. Bro, honestly and truly, no apology is needed.
That's from your perspective.
Well, I know, but,
Let's not start arguing.
well, no, we're not gonna start. We're not gonna start arguing, I promise
In my
you.
heart, God told me I needed to apologize.
Well,
I'm listening to the man above.
I appreciate
Okay.
that, but you know, just like you said, you know, we've butted heads a few times, but I harbor no animosity towards you, none.
Me either, that's why I apologize.
Well,
And I
okay.
didn't wanna do it in secret and people think I'm two-faced and dirty and low down.
No,
I wanted to do it just where I did it before. And that's my decision.
Okay,
I
and
appreciate that.
We have a
Okay,
policy to
end of discussion.
Ms. Bro, we have a policy that, update, we need to get a motion and a second. We have a policy from Forethought on electronic telecommunication devices. And we already have a policy, they just made some updates based off the new laws of the state. So we just updated the policy, so we need a motion and a second for that.
I so moved.
Who's on the policy?
Can we get a second?
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you.
Any more objections? We vote?
Public comment?
Yeah.
Took a vote. You got a motion on the floor. The state law says that before every
We
motion.
got you. Come on.
good.
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. First of all, you should not be adopting a procedure for how to do policies and not ask the public their opinion on whether or not your approach is correct. Second, these recommendations for Forethought say that whether or not the provisions are applicable to school-sponsored events appears to be a choice each school system should make. You've made no discussion about this policy prior to putting a motion on the floor to adopting it. Why can't the public weigh in on whether or not you want to prevent our children from using their cell phones at school-sponsored events? It says to address acceptable means by which parents may contact students during the instructional day. A statement has been added that parents can call the school office. Have you asked them? Have you tried to use any other communication method? Why is it that y'all never do anything to give us the ability to have input into what happens to our children? I'm glad y'all time is almost up because all of y'all need to go. It says
Ms.
code of
Ms.
conduct
Watkins, Ms.
and
Watkins.
not reflected in the policy created. It is the chair is Ms. Bro. Code of conduct and not reflected in the policy creating conflicting regulations. There's been no discussion of the current policy, no discussion of comparing the policy to what is being proposed. What is going on here? The bulletin further states that the school board must seek feedback from parents, students, teachers, administrators, and other stakeholders, but that feedback may be satisfied by public comment received during an open meeting prior to final adoption of the policy. Ms. Bro, where's the policy? Why isn't it read before a motion is taken to adopt something that nobody's heard or seen? Thank you.
Thank you.
I second what she said.
Name, address.
Name and address.
Tobias Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. Yes, ma'am. It's me. So you know if I'm here, it's a problem. What she said is absolutely true. Y'all have to quit doing things out of order, out of what law says you're supposed to do it. It
We're
has
not
to
doing
be,
anything out of order. This is just a recommendation to go to
and
the
you
board.
have to bring it to the public first. It
Well,
should
we
have been
let you
read.
speak. You speak in there.
No, but we don't know what it is. We haven't heard it.
Well, if Ms. Bro, the chairman, want to read it, she have that right to read it to you.
But
She's the
it's
chair.
not just for Miss Bro, it's for everybody who's sitting up here in the front of me. Everybody. This board this Bogalusa is not in a good predicament at all. And you've been in that chair for quite some time. And a lot of y'all been up here for quite some time. And things is not getting better in our school district. And
it's
we
getting
needed to
better.
get better.
It's getting better.
It's not. I don't see nowhere it's getting better. You might say it's getting better, but show me the proof. Show me the proof. Run the board the way it's supposed to be ran. Run it the way it's supposed to be ran. Not
you
no big
finish
eyes and lip. When I get through, I'm gonna sit down.
But you only have a certain amount of time.
Well, how much time? You need to
3
put. You need to get a timer. What you need to do, you need to get a timer.
You
and
got
these
3 minutes.
get a timer and time in 3 minutes. Don't say my time is almost up and I'm almost through. That's the dysfunction. What's going on in here? And it seem like you a major part of it. Seem like you are a major part of it. Now I'm done.
Thank you. You want to call for the vote? Basha. Yeah.
Dr. Cook,
No,
Yes,
vote.
no, for
Yes,
policy.
Yeah.
yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Bro.
Yes.
Okay. This policy will go to the board, to the regular board. Next, we'll go to finance.
All right, we're gonna open the committee meeting for finance.
Thanks, President, excuse me, may I ask something before you go move to that? Will the policies be put online so
Yes.
if parents and public wanna read the policy?
Yes, ma'am.
They'll have the chance to go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think they'll have the opportunity to type
Yeah,
in
yeah.
comments as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, they can
So
type in
those will be
comments as well.
compiled by Ms. Basha.
Yeah.
And then those will be brought back to us. So there is a procedure.
Yeah,
And President Casey, if you would, I would just recommend closing the
okay.
portion of the meeting.
Okay, Ms. Bro, you wanna close that portion of it?
If there are no more questions, I'd like to close the, policy, committee meeting. Thank you.
Okay.
I would give a second and then just vote on it, proceed to close.
Second.
Second.
Wait, who
Gotta have a
motion?
motion.
Dr. Cook,
No.
second.
Second.
Ms. Bro can't make the motion.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And as we move on, we'll go next to our finance committee, Mr. Odie Hughes.
So we'd go ahead and like to open up the finance committee at this time. Could we get a roll call for those in the finance committee?
Mr. Hughes,
Present.
Mr. Cakes,
Present.
Mr. Creel.
Present.
All right. So for the finance committee, we would like to, receive and consider approval for a resolution ordering and calling for a special election to be held in the Bogalusa School District of the Parish of Washington, State of Louisiana, to authorize the renewal for a special tax therein, making application to the State Bond Commission and providing for other matters in connection wherein. Can I make a motion that we adopt this?
I make a
Before we-
motion.
Before we go to the motion, can we do a presentation first, please?
Okay, Ms. Walker.
Okay, good evening, board. There are copies of the resolution and the PowerPoint on the table if anyone needs it. And at this time, my staff, would y'all please stand? I want to give y'all a round of applause. They helped me today, they've all been busy, and I want to thank them. Okay, in the present, if anyone wants to get a presentation or a copy of the resolution, and also in that, on the table, you'll have what is the mill rate and how property taxes are calculated, if you want to get a copy of that. You can raise your hand if my staff is here to help give them out. Okay, we're gonna begin with the overview of funding and expenditures. And what? Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, it's in your either pink folder or either, I think black.
Yes, and I think you have the pink folder, have the presentation.
Thank you.
Ladies, I just have, what is the meal rate? Ms. Hopkins has that.
And this is just gonna be a basic overview of what we spend our expenditures on and the revenue we receive. Ms. Angela? Our estimated total revenue in our budget is around $29,276,000. That's what we're gonna be estimating to receive, for the fiscal year 24-25. And that consists of, if you look, we have estimated revenue from local sources. Our local sources consist of our constitutional tax, our renewable taxes, and our sales taxes. That's what we do on the local level. Our local, the millage that we're voting on, that's considered a local millage. And our sales taxes, as you know, we have a 1 cent sales tax that we share with Washington Parish. We get 0.55 cent of the penny, and they get 0.45. And also a constitutional tax, that's a tax that's constitutional levied for all school districts in the state. Next we also receive estimated funding from the state. Well, our state public funds, we get $14,566,000, which of that, Bogalusa City Schools get $8,788,000, and we have to get North Shore Charter $5,456,000. And we also have some other restricted revenue that falls in those categories. And other revenue that we receive from JROTC, they sent us a stipend to help out with the ROTC directors that we have. Also, we receive indirect costs from all federal grants. We have a percentage in that we receive as a district to oversee the grants.
May I ask a question before you?
Yes, ma'am.
That was already in my mind, cause I watch Donald Trump every night. And I know that, he was talking about cutting, and I'm being serious, he was talking about cutting education, especially out of federal programs.
Right.
And that's a big deal to me.
Yes.
So is that going to be included in that?
No, ma'am, right now, we for that budget, but when the cuts come in, I have to revise the budget. So, and as our student account, in March, the state sends us a, updated MFP count, and if we lost students, you know, our October 1 count, I have to take that money, so I'll be coming back to revise the budget on the loss of students that we had. Okay. So if indirect costs, we lose those federal grants, and you know, food service fall under federal, Title I, all those programs, all those federal programs fall up under that. And so, we will lose funding for that, and we use that funding.
And I would also ask that people call your congressman and ask them not to support this, because that's gonna affect all of our children.
That's right.
Yes.
We can put those numbers and contacts on maybe our social media so that people can have that information.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the Title I, the federal programs, that they looking at, that's a big cut, the food service. They already tried to do that a couple weeks ago, but I think it was so much pushback that they held off on it, but you know, they coming back with it. And as y'all seen, they,
Education was number one.
Yes.
When they trying to cut, yeah.
yes. So that, right now, this is what we project. So at the end of the year, I may not be. So that's a projection. Let me explain to you, if you go to the next page, let me tell you what our salary and benefits expenditures are. Salary and benefits expenditure are more than just employee salaries. This includes funds paid directly to employees and substitute. We have to do a FICA match. We have to do a Medicaid match. We have to do a life insurance match for active employees, which costs us $26,000, and retirees, $51,210. Our health insurance match for active employees, we spent out $4.3 million. That has to come out of our budget. Also, in Bogalusa City School retirees, employees, anybody retired from the Bogalusa City School District, we have to pay their health care premium. We have an employer share, and right now for a year, that's $1.7 million. So these are some of the expenditures I'm trying to explain that comes out of this money. The millages, we put it in a big fund. We collect the revenue, and we have all these expenditures. Also, retirement for employees, we pay 21.5% of employee salary, and they pay 8%. So we match it more than what they pay to make sure that these employees receive retirement. Also, we pay 25.8% for school employees. That includes our bus drivers, custodians, and maintenance workers. And so that 25.8, we pay that also, and that's total $358,897.
And I could jump in, Ms. Walker. Another thing we did this year for our employees, we ended up paying an extra $30,000 with health insurance, so employees can pay less on their end for health insurance with no co-pays. They can still stay in the same network of docs. So people don't see that work that we do behind the scenes to make sure we're supporting our employees. And we probably do a better job of advertising that. But the average employee who carry their family probably saves $700.
Oh, yeah,
$1,000.
Yeah.
Just back in their pocket because we invested more into the program to help our employees out.
And
Ms.
also,
Walker,
yes.
Line employee?
You're a retiree. Yeah, yes, ma'am. So what we pay we pay your employer share of your retirement for insurance. Yeah. And also we contributed when you were here working actively towards your retirement. And like I say, we paying 21%. We paid up to 30%. It's been going down a little, but still it's a high cost. Okay. Also, if you go to the next, we have our property, plant, and equipment. This includes all expenditures for the school campuses, buses, and closed properties owned by the Bogalusa City Schools. Our property insurance alone is $521,000. Our liability insurance, that's anybody get hurt on our property or the car, the insurance for our buses is $219,000. Our energy bill for the district, we pay all the expenditures for the district. We pay their utility costs, we pay their water bill, we pay their light bills. In the city of Bogalusa, it's $434,000. Ma'am.
I don't understand for the district.
We pay all the schools' water bills, light bills. So the schools really don't have a cost. The district picks up all those costs. The schools, only do fundraisers for things that they like to have on their own. Some schools may want to do something special. Like one time, I know Miss Bird, I'm just using for, she's in here. They wanted to buy playground equipment. That's for them, but the district picks up all the costs. They don't pay no salaries there. We pay all the utility costs, the operation, the center point, and also we do the maintaining. All right, we do the maintain. I use you, I'm sorry. But I know these are some of the things that schools don't have to actually pay their utility costs and the day-to-day operation. We pay that over here. So, yes, sir.
It should also be noted that this millage will be for the next 10 years. So you've got to remember, she's saying that our insurance, our electricity, all those things have went up substantially since the last few years. Consider what it will for the next 10 years. Considering what Ms. Bro said about at the federal level, the uncertainty there, it highlights the importance of us stressing that this really needs to get passed.
Yes. And we also do maintenance and upkeep. If we have if a air conditioner breakdown, and I tell you, within the last 5 years, we done bought, I just tell you, so many air conditioner units, and we have to get big tons that sit on top of the buildings, and they are extremely expensive. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say I appreciate all that you're doing for the individual schools in the school board office, but if principals and schools had to pay their own, they wouldn't survive.
They wouldn't
They
survive.
just don't have enough money.
No, ma'am.
So I am thankful for that.
Thank you, Ms. Bro. And this is, like you say, that's a sample of, that's giving the community and the board and the employees an overview of kind of what we spend this money on. This is not every expenditure. This is just a just of examples of what we spend. And
Like
you can go to the
cafeteria equipment that we purchased.
yes, and that's in part of the problem. We bought cafeteria equipment within the last few years. We're replacing that because as it get old, we hadn't bought it in 20 years, I think. So what we're doing, we're replacing it and putting it on the schedule where we'll continue to be able to do that. And that's why the funding is so important. And they were saying that if you don't use other millages, you're going to get your salaries. All the millages say maintenance and operation. So they go together. It's maintaining and operating the school district. So if you lose one, you got to pick up something else somewhere else. So that's what I'm saying, that if you don't renew, we would have to find the money in the other area to maintain. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Walker, one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you say operators, you can't operate a school without a teacher and staff.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So on the purchase services, I just give you a list of some of the service contracts that we have to have. We have to call Ridge. We have to have the audit. We have I3 Vertical, that runs our accounting system, our payroll. We have the Bogalusa Police Department. We pay them for security. J Campus, Ed Gear, that's our SIS system, student information system, where we have to daily report to the state on a daily basis. We also pay North Shore Technical, LSU, Southeastern Louisiana University for dual enrollment. This is for students who take a credit, and some students now, when they go to college, they are junior, because we done offer them so many courses through those universities that they can start out as sophomores. I don't know if I said junior, but that means sophomores. So also Huntland Unity, our internet service. We supply all of that to all our district, our entire district. And then Zandesk, our website, it has to be maintained. Also, you can go over, we have our occupational therapy. We pay Schultz therapy for kids that need to go get therapy. We pay for LSU Ag, that's, the Ag Center where they come and the kids go to 4-H. We have a cooperative endeavor agreement with them. And we have to do OT sometime with companies like Lion. So, and also you'll see instructional programs. We have all of these instructional programs. I couldn't list all of them, but you see a list of the curriculum, the Agile Mind, Amplify, Lakeshore, Imagine Learning, 7 Mindsets. And these are the programs that we support: the JRTC, ACT, ZERN, Fraud Street, Instructors, School Specialty, Howard Technology, Great Mind, JAG, Mastery Prep. These are just some of the vendors that we use. I didn't put them all on here, but I just wanted to give you a grasp in the community of what we do spend our money on. If you go to the back, you have materials and supplies. These items are all materials necessary for the daily operation of the schools and district office. We buy Chromebooks, we buy smart boards, we buy paper, we send paper to the school, extracurricular uniforms, external scanners, closed circuit cameras. We have cameras on our buses, we have cameras in our classroom. We have online school payment, laptops, workbooks, consumables, printers, copiers, sporting equipment, desk chairs, access control. That's where we have the safety where you can go in and press, and they have to buzz you in the schools now. So it's just a conglomerate of things that we do in the district. I just can't list them all, because the report, we will be here all night. But I just wanted to give the district and the community an overview of what we spend our money on. And we spend it diligently, we spend it conservatively, and we try to make sure. And there was some questions about the fund balance. I want to bring out, if a named storm come and Bogalusa High School blow away, our deductible is $1.6 million. We have to have some money to operate. If we don't have that, we can't even get the building fixed, because we have to pay that up first before we even do those things. So we do have deductibles that we have to meet. Yes, we have a fund balance, but we got to save in case we go down, in case we do lose program. So I wanted to say that we have been conservative, we diligent. When we had ESSER, we tried to manage our funds for days like this, in case they do come along at the state national level and say, look, we're cutting out this program, maybe we can maintain it. But I know we're going to have to cut back and be stringent, because we don't know what's coming. So that's why we kind of keep our fund balance where we have it. And we want to thank the board for voting for our budget and those things that ESSER was paying for. Now the district going to have to pay for that. That's why I say this not even a list, some of the names I left off. So, yes, ma'am, Ms. Bro. Oh, okay. So I just want to thank you. You have any questions?
And that's,
Thank you.
to piggyback on that, you know, we want to be very frugal with taxpayers' dollars. So even when we have positions that are retiring, I'm looking at maybe not bringing that position back, combining positions. That means more work, less people to do it. But we also got, I got to look down the road and say, I don't know what's going to happen with the federal government, what they're going to cut, because the public's not going to understand, well, why we had to shut this program down. They still want to see these things for our students. The students want to know why they can't go back to this seminar at LSU or to New Orleans, or why they got to pay now, because we had to make those tough decisions, and we don't want to put our students in those positions. They only do fundraisers because they choose to. And it's certain things that they want that we just can't buy with federal dollars or state dollars. And that's when they do fundraisers. But other than that, the principals can let you know that if they call and say we need to do this, it's done. And it's done because we have the revenue coming in to put back into our students. Like the band needed new uniforms. Most schools I see, they do fundraisers for that. Our band didn't have to do no fundraisers. They needed new instruments. So things like that that happen behind the scenes that we don't publicly say, but we do it every day for our students. So if we lose any type of revenue, the bills still got to get paid. The community's still going to expect our students to look the best, and they're going to still expect our kids to go places. So I mean, we have to get the money from somewhere, and we just want to make sure that we keep doing what's right for our students and giving those exposure to things outside of the school walls.
Thank you too so much.
Ms. Walker, we have several empty buildings. Is it feasible to our advantage to just keep those buildings, and don't you have to pay insurance and stuff on those?
Most of them we've taken off, like Columbus Street, Long Avenue. We don't pay insurance on those anymore.
So what happens to them if something happens?
Because of the value of Long Avenue, I think the last time I did appraisal was like $30,000. So really, it's not beneficial to us to maintain them.
So you can't get insurance on the value of a building. It's a set thing. I thought they went by. I know the houses they go by how much your house costs.
But because we're not in it, it's vacant. They don't recommend we put insurance on that because nobody's in it.
I would think that we might need to. I'm talking to chairperson. We might need to try.
Well, we're trying to sell them. I'm still finna put them back up. Once I get this, that's the next task I'm going to, because several people have called about the properties, and we're going to try to put them back out, because every time I put them up for sale, they come and they say, I want the building, I want the building, and we have to pay to get the appraisals. We have to pay to put it in that paper, and when I do that, then they come, they don't bid on it. And so it's costing us to keep doing it over again. So hopefully next time when I put them out there, somebody will take them. So that's coming up for me, because I have to send. We did all that with Long Avenue, they didn't bid. Remember, I brought it to the board for it to be bidded, and they wanted it, they didn't bid. Yes, sir.
One comment, in the bid process with our unoccupied buildings, there's a time limit on that too. Once you have an appraised value, and I think I'm correct in saying this, basically what we did, the price that was placed, appraisal appraisal price was basically for the land, the property, not the building. 'Cause most of those buildings were
Asbestos was in.
asbestos riddled, they're old, some of them as old as the early 1950s or 1949s. So, you know, they've stood the test of time to a certain extent, but for somebody to try to rehabilitate one of those buildings, you know, it's not a feasible thing for most people to do unless they have some type of governmental grant or, you know, some benevolent person that's just gonna shell out the money to do it. So that's kinda where we at on those buildings.
So all the empty buildings are gonna be put up for sale?
Yes, ma'am. And also, we, superintendent and our supervisor, we are talking about, you know we need to build a new school. You know, we at least need a pre-K or K through 5 school. So, hopefully in the future that we can do that. So, and being diligent with our money, that's what the public look at, if you're being conservative with your money and try, so that also plays into the savings that we're trying to put in our,
And we don't wanna go to the public for a tax for a new school.
yeah, we're trying to
We
do
have a
it.
meeting, we have a meeting tomorrow with the,
Government consultant and Foley and Jadell to ask us what our borrowing authority is. So we'll get back with the board once we meet with them to see. Cause you know we're paying off that loan from the, to $6 million we borrowed years ago, 10 years ago.
QSAB
So
loan.
that's coming up
QSAB,
this
yeah.
year.
Thank you, Ms. Walker, Dr. Hurst. Appreciate y'all. As chairman of the finance committee, I am very happy that we have so many of you here. Your voices matter, your opinions matter, your prayers are appreciated as we go through this. Like Ms. Burrow said, we'll try to put it up there. You've got to call your representatives. What they say, for one call that they get, it represents like 1,000 people in the community. So you've got to make your voices heard if we're going to get this passed with the uncertainty that we have going. Now, we're fixing to make a motion to consider this. This is not the vote, so we're going to make a motion to consider this as a resolution to be considered in the next meeting. So we will make that, and then we'll open it up to public for discussion. So first, we'll make a motion. I'll make a motion for us to consider the finance committee to consider this in the next meeting.
I make a motion that we consider this.
Second.
Anyone opposed?
Curtis.
I'll second that.
At this time, we'd like to open it up to the public for discussion. If anyone wants to speak on this matter, please come forward.
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. First and foremost, the agenda was amended less than 24 hours after it was posted, so all of this is null and void. I printed my agenda at 11:48 a.m. and it listed Mr. Creel as the chair, and your agenda is printed at 12:21 p.m. and it now lists Mr. Hughes as the chair. And there has been no public discussion about who the chair, the changing of the chair. Was there an appointment, an election? When and how did it change? Second, I would like to call everyone's attention to section 1. It says that the election will be held on May 23rd. In the special meeting, I was told that the election will be held on May 29th. So are we hosting and having and paying for an election separate than the statewide election? Second, it says publication of the election should be in the official journal. This board has taken no vote on an official journal since any of you have been in office. So what is that? You've been posting to the Daily News, and you finally started posting on time now that you want this money, and you started posting the rates. But that requires you to vote on a journal and to vote on the compensation rates. Second, it says in section 6, the secretary of the governing authority is hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to arrange for and furnish to said election. Who is the secretary? Who is it that you're authorizing by this resolution to take this action? And it says in section 9, Foley and Judel LLP is hereby employed as special counsel for said purpose for a term not exceeding 1 year from the date of the resolution. The fee is $1,000 in the aggregate together with reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses. Now, we are talking about expenses, but you're willing to pay special counsel when you have this man over here that you pay $45,000 a year, and you're gonna pay $1,000 an hour to somebody to get more money out of us. And finally, it says the cost of this election is $41,700. How many of our teachers in paras and janitors even get that kind of money? Vote no.
Can I clarify?
Go ahead on, Ms. Walker.
Okay, the election is Saturday, May 3rd, and we will vote, and the canvass will be Thursday, May 22nd. So, I don't know what it, May 3rd, ma'am.
Okay. Marcia, you wanna call her?
We got one more item.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time.
Mr. Cates,
Yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
Yes. All right, next item we have is on the list, is to receive and consider approval for the board, for permission to travel to Atlanta, to go to the 2025, COSSBA annual conference on March 16th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that the board travel.
Second.
Public want to speak on this matter?
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. What is the estimated cost of this travel for this board, and what is the purpose of this conference? This is committee meeting. We're supposed to be open dialogue.
We don't have the estimated cost, but we can get it back to you, and it's, the, COSBA is affiliate of LSBA, and we are part of that affiliate, so the board is going up there, and they will have trainings and meetings to go to.
Okay, so I have been asking this board for the 2 years that y'all have been sitting up here to conduct committee meetings as such. In fact, Mr. Cates has been very negative in the past when he was chairing over all the committees. So you're going to go to a conference to learn something that I've been telling you for free? And this man 45,000. Today y'all walking in here like y'all are just gonna do things correct. The policies are out of whack. I would like to know why we as the public should pay for you to go to a conference when you have refused to learn for 24 months or more. No, this is ridiculous. We should not be paying for that. Now you can vote yes, but vote no to this tax. Vote no to continue putting money against stuff that is not in our best interest. Thank you.
Tobias Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. It seems like y'all got a lot going on here that's not being done right. It's not being done correctly. Seems like y'all just pushing things through, and it's like business as usual. That's gotta change. No more coming in here not being transparent, talking about business as usual. And that's for each and every one of y'all sitting in front of me looking. It's time for this to change. Y'all killing our school system. Y'all killing Bogalusa. Y'all got to take y'all knee off the necks of these kids around here. Y'all got to do what's right. Transparency is the key. Quit just coming because you think you in that position that you can't be replaced when all of you can. And some of y'all need to be. I'm talking about like right now. Like today. It's sad. And y'all ain't got nothing to brag about. Nobody in this room sitting in front of me has nothing to brag about. Our school system is terrible. Only thing I see scribing at the school is the band. Mr. Chad Harry, somebody who went to school with me. That's the type of people we need. We don't need people who out of touch. We need innovative thinkers. People who care about the kids in the community. And a lot of y'all don't. I don't care what you get up, it's all about a paycheck to y'all. That's all it's about. And we sick, that's the same thing killing our country. Greed. People feeling entitled. That's over with. It's a new day. I'm here, it's a new day.
Mr. Cates?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes. All right, we're gonna, at this time, we're gonna end the finance committee meeting, and we will be moving on to buildings grounds committee with Mr. Curtis Creel.
Thank
Okay.
you. Go ahead on Curtis. Oh, you mean that.
Okay, at this time, we'll call the committee meeting in order for buildings and ground.
Mr. Creel?
Here.
Dr. Williams? Here. Mr. Hughes?
Here.
Okay, and at this time, I'm gonna recognize Mr. McKinley, who is our supervisor. And he'll just give you some updates as to what has transpired and maybe what we expect to transpire.
Good evening, Superintendent, President Cates, and the board and community. Just a quick update on maintenance. Right now, we're working over at the high school in the guidance office, doing some renovations and bringing up to speed to the times of giving the guidance office a new look, similar to what we did in here. And with the maintenance crew that we have, the only thing is really costing the district, Ms. Bro, is the material. Because we do have a group of guys that are gifted and crafted to do a lot of our work. We're working on that. Dr. Hurst, myself, and Ms. Walker been in conversation to work on also the same project with some of the restrooms throughout our school system. You know, Pleasant Hill is the school that I went to in first through about 5th grade. And, you know, that's been many, many years ago. And a lot of these other schools, these are the same facilities that was here. And as you know, with older facilities come much more upkeep. And so, you know, with Bird Avenue and Central and Northside, it is a lot of upkeep there. You go and you fix something today and it runs on down the hallway somewhere else. And so we are working diligently to keep our school system up to speed. And as you look around the system, you do see some changes. But I would like to piggyback on Ms. Walker. You know, we don't have to worry about, you know, where we're gonna get the supplies from, you know, because if she's not providing the finances, and just today, and I think Ms. Antonet can attest to this, we received an email from a vendor, and the vendor was informing us that their hourly rate is going up effective March some date. And so everything is costly. But one of the things that we are doing with maintenance, we are trying to do a lot of our stuff in-house. But when you look at these air conditioners, Bird and Central, you know, they are not equipped with central air throughout their campuses. They still have the window units. And those window units are not as reliable as they were in the past. And so every year, you know, we're having to replace window units. And even with the big units we have at high school, one of the things the gentleman told me when I first got in this position, your biggest issue with your HVAC systems at high school is across the street, talking about the paper mill and all of those chemicals. And that has come to be true, because it seemed like it's a never-ending story with Ms. Walker. All right, Ms. Walker, there's another unit that has gone bad, and we just don't take the word of one vendor. You know, sometimes we'll call in 2 or 3 vendors, you know, what is your take on this? And when they all 3 agree that that unit is bad, then, you know, we have to move forward. And we thankful that, you know, we receive relationships with vendors that when they come out for consultations, they don't charge us for consultations. They just charge us if they get the bid or if they have the lowest quote. And so, you know, we are trying to just right now, we're working on getting the stadium ready for track season. And so it's just so much that we're doing. The bathrooms are, you know, especially, you know, a big ticket item for us. It's next on the agenda. And I will say this about Dr. Hurst before I go to my seat. He does see things, and when he first came here and he started sharing stuff about just the little small things that could make a difference. And those of you that know what this room looked like before about a year and a few months ago, you can see what a small change can make a difference. And that's what the maintenance team is trying to do. This didn't cost us nothing but some paint and the stuff that you see on the floor. The maintenance guys came in and did that. And so that's what we are trying to do to make sure that we're getting the best bang for our bucks. We are not running and trying to get everything that we do bid it out to somebody. You know, these are some hard-working guys, and sometimes I don't think Dr. Hurst realized, Mr. Creel, how long that list is, because when we think we are shortening that list, he sees something else. And all of that is really for the betterment of this school system. And so that's where we are now, besides the day-to-day issues that we deal with. We are working again with the guidance office. We are getting ready to assess restrooms, especially at Burden Central and Northside, and then working on getting the football stadium ready for track season. Any questions for me?
Mr. McKinley, you had that group of the same inmates we had last year coming in to help you during the summer?
During the summer, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those guys, and if you just look at what a fresh coat of paint did to Central on the outside. Yeah. I mean, and the only thing that cost us just to feed the inmates because that's what it is. Miss Walker so graciously to allow us to do that, and Dr. Hurst, and the only thing it cost us is to feed those guys. And those guys come out and they interact with us, they hang out with us, and we have a good time with those guys. And we are looking forward to getting them back this summer. Any other questions?
No question, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And also, we are working on, I forgot to say, the crosswalk.
Yes, yes,
what's your
yes.
name of your committee?
Student Advisory Council.
Student Advisory Committee. Dr. Hurst sent Mr. McKinney and myself an email telling us that the Student Advisory Committee want to know why we don't have a crosswalk between the field house and the stadium. So we had something in the years past. So it's a state highway. So we're gonna have to go back through the state again. I think they got rid of So we got to go back through the state again because we did have something. So but we're checking into that. They asked Dr. Hurst and he directed Mr. McKinney and myself to get on it, and we're working on that also.
The state will have to send someone out to do a survey, and then there's a permit.
The state gonna pay for it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably have to go through the
They
same
have to
thing we
come
did
out
with
and
the
do a
gate.
survey, and it's been a few years back, but we kind of want to cross that bridge once already about that crosswalk. You talking about closer to the post office?
No,
No,
well, we
to the
just
field
put
house.
those caution lights. We did that, but they want something where they cross over from the football stadium, the football stadium back to the school. We used to have that, but somehow the state took it down. So we need to get back and see what happened. And we look into it.
And I will say this, when he meets with that student advisory board, it's just not to kill time, because whatever they tell him, and especially when it's dealing with maintenance. I was going to the dumpster one day and he saw me and he said, come rescue me, because they were in here and they had some things they wanted done at high school, and we sat down the next day, maintenance team was on there. And I think that's good that he listens to those kids and they feel comfortable giving him feedback of because it helps us, because they know what's needed too at those schools, and we appreciate him for that.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Mr. McKinney. You want to go right there?
Questions? We have nothing on the agenda.
That's it. So we adjourn our committee meeting. And as we start our regular board meeting, Dr. Cook, you want to lead us in prayer?
Let us pray. Gracious and
They
eternal
doing it
Father,
before they
thank you,
took it
Father,
over.
for this blessed day. And thank you, Lord, for all that you have provided for us. Lord, we just give you the glory, honor, and praise. Now, Father, we declare and confess the business of this board, Father, for the betterment of our children, for our community. Lord, we ask your guidance and blessings upon it right now. Help us, Father, to do everything in decent and order according to your will. Now, Father, we ask for all your blessings in Jesus. We ask in Jesus' name, pray, and thank you for it. Amen.
Amen. Could we call the meeting order? And And the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
President Case,
Here.
Vice President Creel,
Here.
Mrs. Bro, Dr. Cook,
Present.
Mr. Hughes,
Here.
Ms. Mitchell, Dr. Williams.
We have a correction. Dr. Cook is the vice president. Boss, you should change that on your record. And,
And I'll address the agenda item B, the administration of the oath.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had a conflict last meeting, but I did review the meeting minutes from the last board meeting.
yes,
And just for the election of officers, there's not required an oath. The oaths were taken and signed when they became board members.
Yeah.
So it appears that the floor was properly opened. There was a nomination. Nomination was seconded, and the floor was closed and a vote was taken. So there doesn't need to be any administration of an oath, just for the office of vice president.
okay, thank you. Mr. Garland? Appreciate it. As we go to our next item, item C, approval of our minutes of January 27, 2025 regular board meeting. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. At this time, do we have anyone in the public want to speak on these?
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. What is the motion? Motion is not a motion. Is it a motion to approve, a motion to disapprove, a motion for corrections? The meeting was started prior to 5:30. I got here and started filming at 5:15, and they were already giving away awards. So I don't even know, that needs to be corrected on this. Second, I don't understand why, when we get these meeting minutes, no board member ever supports the corrections that I make. You have the right to verbally say that you want everything that I am saying documented in these minutes without a vote. That's all you have to do is say, we accept your corrections. And you can amend this motion that is not on the floor to say corrected minutes. It's just ridiculous. But last month, y'all got minutes that say how much you were trained. And we keep going through the same thing. No proper motions. These were not stated. Everything in here, I don't know what your lawyer's saying. Nobody said motion. Just like you just heard this man say motion, he did not say a motion to adopt, accept, or amend these minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
Tobias Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. Again, she's right. She's right. Y'all got to get it right. If y'all gonna be leaders, y'all gonna have to lead the right way. Each and every last one of y'all. Kids' lives are at stake. Y'all already know it. We done have kids to get killed at school events on y'all watch. Mother's still crying right now. Kids still suffering behind it. They ain't got over it. They need counseling. They need help. That's the kind of people we need on this panel. A lot of y'all might not be those people. But guess what? We got to get those people. I'm searching for those people. I'm looking for those people. If you're not those people, you got to go. Each and every one of y'all. This is not a game. Y'all business as usual in here. I see it. Y'all business as usual. We've been doing things like this.
We speaking on our minutes, what we had last month.
But do it right. Do it right. A motion to amend, a motion, just what she said. Do it the correct way. Then you don't have to worry about me coming up here saying she's right. Learn how to do your job. Get a little more training. Ain't nobody perfect. I'm not looking for y'all to be perfect when it comes to doing certain things. But certain things y'all have to get right. Why? Y'all are board members. Y'all are school board members. Y'all the ones supposed to be showing people how to come up and live a productive life. Teaching them, leading them in the right directions. But y'all up here like, it don't matter. Business as usual. It's over with.
Let me bring it back to the table. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried, none opposed. Next item D, approve our minutes of our January 14th, 2025 special board meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. At this time, we open it up to the public. Do we have anyone in the public who want to speak on it?
Case on that approval, excuse me, C, approval of minutes for January, we need to vote, because I don't approve it. You said everybody voted yes or aye, but nobody.
Okay, well, we'll go back to that. I see if we'll get a roll call vote.
The 27th?
Please do a roll call vote on
We have a live
C.
motion on the floor, allegedly, supposedly.
We'll go back to that.
Okay.
There was not a second.
Hmm? We didn't get a second.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So we're going
We
back
good. Yeah, we go back to C.
to do a roll call vote on
We'll
C.
do a roll call vote.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
Ms. Bro,
No.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
President Cates.
Yes. Motion carried, 6-1. Next item, item D. Approval of minutes of January 14th, 2025 special board meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. At this time, we open it up to the public.
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. Here we go again with this so moved. That is not a valid motion. In addition to that, I made public comments in the following. Actually, Ms. Walker read the announcement, and that is not documented in these minutes. She said that the millage expires December 31st, 2025. Hughes only said motion. There was no stated summary of what action the board would take on this. I asked the following: when would the election take place? I was told May 29th. I asked what language on the ballot. It was said for renewal that the attorney would get back and engage us on what they would do. May 29th, the bond commission. Number 3, I asked how much has the current millage netted the school system, and we still have not heard this specific millage numbers, even though you gave us everything around the world. Number 4, would it go to all city schools, including charter, was asked. And number 5, what would it do to the budget if this was not renewed? And all you kept saying is that you're going to keep putting it on the ballot every time it's not renewed and charge us. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else? If not, we'll bring it back to the table. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried, none opposed. Next, we go to item E, personnel update.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Board President, Dr. Hirsch, and board members. If you'll look in your teal folder, you will see down at the bottom, you'll see that we had 2 resignations, a para at Burt Avenue and a teacher at Bogalusa High School. And then up above that, you'll see that we have replaced those 2 positions. We hired a para at Burt Avenue and a teacher at Bogalusa High School for those positions. So that's all I have. You'll see something else in your folder, but I'll be back up to speak on that when it comes back up on the agenda.
Thank you,
Any
Ms. McGee.
questions?
Thank you. Next, we go to item G, our new business. Item 1, consider a motion to approve a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be.
President Case.
Yes.
We missed F.
F. Okay. Consider a motion to approve update board spring meeting dates of 2025. I have a motion and a second. At this,
Who's second, I'm sorry.
Dr. Cook. Do we have anyone in the public want to speak on this issue?
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. Now, in the last meeting, I told y'all in December that you had only voted on 6 months worth of meetings. Y'all sat here dead silent like you had no clue what I was talking about, that the state law says to vote on a calendar's worth. Now these are on the agenda with no discussion. Like you just gonna roll through it and change it and do it, and you not gonna say, oh, we made a mistake. Oh, why are we taking this action? Why must we look at a calendar? Y'all just like, oh well. So somebody could at at least acknowledge the fact that you needed to vote on a year's worth of meetings so we could at least have the ability as the community to plan. And then you have the nerve to put on their dates subject to change. Technically, dates are not subject to change. At the point that you decide on this calendar, they should only change if there is impending weather or something catastrophic that happens. So I don't even know why that's included on the documentation to be voted on. It should be removed. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Boz Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. Again, she is right. Y'all gotta get it together. I see why our city being ran like this. The people who at the head don't even care. Y'all think y'all could just do whatever and then it's okay, right? That's why they shooting in the streets, because they feel like they can do whatever too and it's okay. I wonder where they getting that from. This is terrible. This is terrible. And y'all think y'all doing a good job? Thank you for being honest. At least we got one gonna be honest about it. This is terrible. Resign, quit, do something. For real. Y'all, this. Mr. President, come on now. Y'all just doing whatever, no matter the whatever, y'all don't care. That's what I'm saying. They don't care, they don't know no better. That's how y'all think about us? That's how y'all look at us? It cannot continue. It could not, and I ain't come here to be nobody's friend, just to let y'all know. I ain't come here to be nobody's friend. These people behind me, they know that. It's too serious, it's too critical out here. Young people are dying. And guess who hands they in most of the part of the day? They in y'all hands. They show up early in the morning and they leave in the evening. Y'all have a lot to do with the development of them. But I know y'all don't care. I know y'all don't. Because a lot of y'all I'm just not seeing for the first time. And I don't like what I see. I don't like the attitudes. I don't like the smirk, none of that. Be professional. Learn your job, because sound like y'all don't know what y'all doing. Get a little more training. Spend some money on some training. I'm with that.
Yeah. Okay. Could we get a roll call vote for item F?
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Bro? Ms. Bro? Ms. Bro?
I'm looking, yes.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell? Yes. Dr. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Cates?
Yes. Our next item, G, new business. Item 1, consider a motion to approve a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in Bogalusa School District of the Parish of Washington, State of Louisiana, to authorize the renewal of a special tax therein, making application to the State Bonding Commission and providing for other matters in connection therewith. I have a motion and a second.
Mr. Cates,
Yeah.
before the vote, because the agenda item does not say approval, and it just says consider, actually, never mind. I withdraw my comment. It does say consider motion to approve.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, no problem. No problem, Matthew. Okay. I have a motion and a second. At this time, we'll open up to the public. Do we have anyone in the public want to speak on the issue?
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. Parents, guardians, and community members, I urge you to vote no on the renewal of the 6.43 millage for Bogle City Schools, which is set to be placed on the ballot. Why should you vote no? Because our teachers, paraprofessionals, janitors, cafeteria workers, and board office staff are being inadequately compensated, while contracts are being awarded to friends and family of the superintendent at substantial amounts. Many teachers have yet to receive their payments from the December sales tax distribution. Furthermore, there has not been a budget and finance Finance Committee meeting to provide a comprehensive accounting of funds and expenditures. Today, I can only present you with the facts regarding the allocation of our financial resources. CJLIT holds the IT contracts. The owner is Roderick Matthews, who is also the head of Homeland Security and Emergency Operations for St. Helena Parish. He was so bold with our money that he gave $1,996 of it to St. Helena with his classmates. Who were his classmates? Bailey Education Group LLC is receiving over $100,000 plus expenses. For what exactly? They had nothing to do with the 3.4 increase in scores, and our system is still failing assessments. CSRS, $49,000 to assess the buildings we already know are old as a sole source award with no competition. Another I knew them contract. Attuned received $120,000 plus expenses to develop a strategic plan we haven't seen yet. A family member received a contract to review the records of high school students for graduation. How much money was paid? Star Academy, another failure, wasted $3 million in grant money that was supposed to net us in equipment and academics, and our kids and parents aren't happy with how the money is being spent. Lean Frog, $21,000 to evaluate the salaries and compensation of BCS employees. Haven't seen it. Coon Garver Law Firm, $45,000 with no vote by this board each year to retain their services. Nothing of value. How much of our tax dollars went to these matching outfits of the finance team, or were the jobs threatened for their allegiance? Other law firms, Taylor, Wellens, and Ponce and Dune, the school system claims they represented them for free for Macklemore v. Bogley City Schools. Porteous, Hankel, and Johnson paid thousands of dollars for Smith versus Bogley City Schools. North Shore Charter, $238,000 land deal, then created Friends of North Shore Charter to sell the land to them, and that's Bubba Bourne, Roosevelt Ludd, and Chris Workman. I'm tired of how y'all are abusing my sister and other employees. The theft starts with your no vote to funding the grift and collusion. Meanwhile, you went to solicit STEM NOLA for $45,000. Yeah, they told it, but won't return Washington Parish STEM and Innovative Learning Center requests to keep our money in Bogalusa. Vote no and end the 4-day school week, because our money is leaving our hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Tobias Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. If what that young lady just stated is correct, y'all need to get it together. I'm all for the kids. I'm all for Bogalusa, 100% behind Bogalusa. If you have any way of keeping money in Bogalusa, we need that money to stay in Bogalusa. If you don't have nobody for the services, then you got to go outside of Bogalusa to make it happen. Then that's what we got to do. But you don't turn your back on the city and then go outside the city for services that you can get inside the city. That don't help the city. That's why the young people go off to college and they never come back here. They never come back. They don't even want to come back here and serve the city that they grew up in. And it's because of actions that's taken right here today. These things got to change. A lot of people in here, they don't really care. They come for the show. But the show is over. The show is over. This stuff has to change. And all these allegations will be looked into. I'm not taking anybody's side right now because why? I have no facts on the matter. But there's some people that do. There's some people that do. They have facts on the matter. And guess what? Facts don't change. Lies do. Facts don't change. They stay the same. No matter what you try to bury it or how deep you try to bury it, facts don't change. But a lie will. And it's according to who tell it how that lie gonna change. Y'all being put on notice today. This corruption come in different ways. Corruption come in different ways. And a drug dealer is not the worst person in the world. A drug dealer is not, because the same thing y'all doing worse than drug dealers. By keeping y'all foot on these kids' neck, not helping them for when they leave that high school, they can go out and make some of themselves. Y'all ain't giving them the tools they need when they leave there. They can't do nothing but go work at Walmart. Can't take the scholarships, can't go to the Army, can't go to the Navy. can't go to college. Why? Because they can't pass the test. They not failing on their own. Y'all failing them first. Get it together. Get it together.
Next, we'll bring it back to the table. We have a roll call vote.
Come in.
All right, hold on. Come in. Come in.
Termesi Apartment, 515 16th Avenue, Franklinton, Louisiana. I am a proud employee here at the Bogalusa City Schools office, and I'm even more proud to serve in the business and finance department. The sweater that I have on was ordered from Temu, and Antone Self ironed the bee on. And we're very proud of these sweaters, but we pay for these sweaters out of our pockets, and we have receipts for that. Thank you. Amen.
All right, all right. Hold on. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Some of y'all probably know me. I'm Colonel Harris. I'm over the JROTC department. Reference this tax mill. I want to talk about it, but I'm going to let some of my students get up here, my high-speed students, and tell you how the district has benefited us and help us do our mission. First of all, Chet Harry, you know I love you. The band is bad. But guess what? It's not the only show in town. JROTC is an organization. And let me tell you, we put kids in the military. We make sure they graduate from high school. And last, let me tell you, five years straight, we've had the Student of the Year come from JROTC. The salutatory and valedictorian. Thank you. The salutatory and valedictorian has come from JROTC 4 years straight. So I am very proud to be a part of Bogalusa High School and to be the SAI of the Lumberjack Battalion. I have been doing this job for over 12 years. My first sergeant has been here at Bogalusa High School for 12 years. So we have a lot of knowledge. We know how to help these kids get out there, graduate from high school, and go make something out of themselves. The problem is, while a lot of our kids are leaving, there's not jobs here in Bogalusa like it used to be when I was growing up. But what I want my kids to talk about is how the district, Dr. Hurst, how y'all have helped us the last 3 years, and they are going to talk about that. I'm going to turn it over to my student of the year.
I resent what you said about my son.
Oh, I love Chad Harry. He knows that.
Praised him. You shut up, I'm talking. Because somebody praised him, you gonna say he ain't the only one?
No,
They
he's
have
not.
praised other people and didn't praise Chad. So
Chad
I
Harry
resent that
is
was
good.
so damn unnecessary.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we're just as good.
No, you won't. That was unnecessary. They got a lot of people here to do good things, but you can't mention all of them at one time. And when they mention other people, I don't open my mouth. I want them to be praised.
Well, I'm
But this is
mentioning
my
my
child.
people because I'm
And
over
I hate
JROTC.
that I resent what you said. and
Well,
what you
I'm
did.
sorry, ma'am.
No, I know you're sorry.
Well,
Tell
listen,
me something else.
when that time comes, we'll let them speak. We gotta finish up this business.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Don't do that no more.
Could we get a roll call
You
vote?
can shake your head all you want to. You ain't gonna mess up with my son. That boy puts his heart in this.
Your son is my best friend.
No,
I love
thank
your
you.
son.
Not
All right,
when you
cut.
did
Yeah,
it.
I didn't mean it as a
Well,
bad
that's
way.
when
Go
I
ahead.
took it.
Get up.
Well,
And I
I'm
don't know
sorry,
how other
ma'am, I
people-
didn't mean it.
I
He
don't
is
know how other
awesome.
people took it. But
The
my
Lumberjack
son-
band, I have
my
kids
son-
in
Look,
that band.
look, Miss Bro, will you please,
No,
before we
I'm
can
not
go ahead
gonna
on
be
and do our
quiet.
vote?
My
I have
son,
kids in
I'm
that
not
band.
gonna be quiet. My son is
No,
got
not right
people
now.
who would
No,
never.
I
can't talk about the tax.
Huh?
She's talking about the taxes.
We're gonna talk about the
We
tax.
don't come
Wait,
here and
wait.
brag about
Hey,
that.
Come on, come on. Come on.
All right, Dana Walker, 1607 Hillsdale Street, Bogalusa, Louisiana, 70427.
I'm gonna say something. I'm not taking nothing else. I've taken enough. Beat that gavel till the sun goes down if you want to.
I want to talk about the taxes.
Go right ahead.
If we have to go back to the poll and vote where we have to pay an extra cent, I'm willing to do that. And the reason being is because we don't know what's going on at the top. So many agencies, including ADAP, and I'm not going to say much, but he's been putting freezes on funding, even if like the funding was sent.
Yeah.
It's been putting freezes, and also like you would think that you're going to get this certain amount like the next year, and you're not going to get it. So many people are losing their jobs all over the United States. So I'm willing to vote yes, and yes for anything else to help boost the city school system. And I want to say thanks to BCS, because my son is one of the kids that just graduated, and he's at LSU, and I didn't have to pay out of my pocket for some of the classes that he was able to take dual enrollment classes. He corrected me this weekend because I was like, "Oh boy, you doing so good as a freshman." He said, "No, I'm a sophomore." I said, "Oh," and he said he's a sophomore because of his dual enrollment classes. So I'm like, "Oh my God, oh really?" So I'm thankful for that because I wouldn't be able to pay for all those classes. So you all helped me, and I know many more people that kids have graduated and went to school with those dual enrollment. So I support that. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the people that don't know what ADAP presents, give them a brief little rundown of what y'all do. I'm gonna put you on the spot, you know that. All those services that y'all provide for our
So,
community.
yes, we do. We provide many services to Bogle City Schools. We are one of the agencies that have to come in and provide those programs like Catch Your Breath, Catch My Breath, Kids Don't Gamble. I go into schools and I go all over the parish and I teach about healthy relationships. And so, yeah, so we come there and we do the vaping, that's the Catching My Breath. And when the schools call us, we come. Like, it's such a great partnership now these past few years with ADAP and Bogle City Schools, because when I came on with ADAP 5 years ago, it was no communication with the school system. So I want to thank BCS, because we can call Dr. Hurst. I call her Dr. Tillman, but I don't even know if she's a doctor. But Tillman and at the high school, Kawanda, Katasha, they're going to pick up the phone, and we do what we can. Ms. Moses have called us to her school. So I just love the partnership and everything that we're doing. And when we have public comment, I want to talk about one of your great students that just went to Washington, D.C. with ADAP.
Correct me if I'm wrong, one more thing. Don't y'all also do crisis intervention when there are, like, homicides in the community and shootings? Don't y'all also?
Yes. One of our counselors came over to the school to do the counseling for the school system when we had a young child that passed away, one of the students at BCS, and she was bragging on BCS. So many people say negative things, but she was bragging how the kids were very sincere, how they opened up. And she said, "Dana, anytime they call me, I'm going. It doesn't have to be that something happened, but if a child want to talk to someone, they want us to come over," she said, "I'm going over and talk to the kids." So yes, we're always there.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you, Dana.
And our executive director is Rusty Forney.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll bring back to the table. Could we get a roll call vote?
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
Ms. Bro,
The resolution for the tax, the minutes.
Ms. Bro,
She said yes.
Mr. Creel,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
President Cates.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, item 2. Consider a motion to approve revised policy JCDAE electronic telecommunication device. Look at the motion.
So moved.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. At this time, we open it up to the public.
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. Parents, I urge you to be cautious of this blanket vote with no discussion where the policy has been read to you of these changes. Your children will not be able to wear smartwatches to school as this is written. It's from the time it says the instructional day shall begin at the time the students arrive on campus prior to taking a bell. They already have these illegal fines and fees posted for them having their cell phones because they never vote on a fines and fee schedule. You need to speak up, but right now it's too late because they're not following the policy that says that a policy changes will be introduced in one meeting and then voted on in the next. So this is purposely being done either late because it was released or because they do not want you to be able to convene and read and find out what is getting ready to happen to your children. No smart watches. No cell phones on. You will have to call the office. And then it has some conflicting information in here about in case of an emergency they can use it. But did you hear them discuss how that conflicts with the current policy? No, they never do. They do not want you to really know what is happening to your children.
Anyone else? Tobias Roberts, 1127 Avenue J. Again, board members, until y'all get it, transparency is key to everything. You got to be open with the public. The public is who you work for. You can't work against the public. You got to work with the public because you work for the public. Y'all are elected officials. They didn't just elect y'all to come up here and do what y'all want to do. People, for somebody to vote for you, they must expect that you had some good in you and you was going to do the right thing in the position that they was putting you in. But I see a lot of entitlement. Like you sitting up here like, oh, I'm entitled to this. I deserve this. But have you earned that position? A lot of y'all have not. And y'all showing that. You don't got to listen. You ain't got to like what I say. That's not what I come here for. I only come here to tell you the truth. That's it. Y'all got to do things by the book. Do the things the right way. Then people can't come up here like Miss Renika and say what she's saying. And I ain't got to come up here and say she right. That's just terrible. Transparency is key. And if you're not willing to be transparent and open with the people because you in a public spot, you was voted in there. All this backdoor stuff, all this, you know what I'm saying, we gonna do it business as usual, that gotta change. Well, I don't know what y'all gonna take for y'all to get that. Bogalusa cannot keep going in this same format. It's a losing recipe. We losing and we losing bad. But y'all getting paid, so y'all don't care, huh? Okay, I'll let y'all.
I'm gonna bring it back to the table. Oh, what? All right, all right.
Leslie McKinley, 62225 Highway 438 Angie. As a board member in another district, some policies are passed down from the state that the board simply has to adopt. As a board member, we have similar policies. Do I agree with them all? No. But when they are passed down from the state, we as a board has got to accept and adopt these policies. So we just support you all, and parents, we do hope that you would support us and support this board in what they're trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McKinley. We bring it back to the table. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Yeah. Huh?
Roll call.
Well, we'll roll call.
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Bro? Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell? Yes. Dr. Williams?
Yes.
President Cates?
Yes.
Next, we'll go to item 3. Consider a motion to approve the board for permission to travel to Atlanta, Georgia to the 2025 COSBA Annual Conference on March 16, 2025. Have a motion and a second.
Who motion? Hughes and Cook.
At this time, we open it up to the public. Do we have anyone in the public want to speak on this?
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. In the previous meeting, when all of these hours were documented for training, the majority of them seem to be from attending these type of conferences that we are paying for, but we're not seeing any change in behaviors from the board. So what is the purpose of us paying? And we still have not heard an estimated travel expense related to this, but you're gonna vote for yourself for us to pay for you to go for more training when I come here for free, and you paying this guy $45,000, and I tell you the things that you're doing wrong to help you, and you refuse to do it. So why should we pay for you to go to Atlanta for training that we are not going to see the results of that training? Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we'll bring it back to the table. All in favor? Huh?
Roll
You
call.
want a roll call vote?
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Bro? Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell? Yes. Dr. Williams?
Yes.
President Case?
Yes. Next, we'll go to item 8, Superintendent Report.
Good evening, board, community. I'll be brief tonight, so next slide. So just give a few updates. We are currently working with Attune with our strategic plan. Yes, it did cost $120,000, but the State Department paid for that. That's money that the state gave Bogalusa to do the plan. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the money to do it. We're discussing with the Attune partners. They did the surveys, and at some point, we're going to share the plan with the public when it is finalized. Right now, we're still in the planning stages. Met with my Student Advisory Council this week. It was a great meeting. Students are always giving me an earful of what's going good and then what's not going so good. And like Mr. McKinley say, whatever department is dealing with, I go back to that supervisor and say, hey, this is what the students are saying they're saying what's happening at the school. One thing they did like was the new cafeteria options. They were very thankful for how our cafeteria department is moving forward. So based off their concerns at the beginning of the year, we made some changes there. I scheduled to have an employee advisory council this Wednesday. Hope I don't have to cancel that. I had another meeting pop up. If not, I'll reschedule it. We have a school calendar that's going to all employees to vote. They have 2 options. We'll let the employees vote. Technically, I can create the calendar with my staff and then put it out and get the board approval, but I like my employees to weigh in on the options that we have. So we create 2 calendars, different. Sometimes they have a different start day, different days we do PD, and days we're all coming on work, and the employees will vote on option A and option B. And we're in the process of starting our discipline committee meeting. Ms. Mingo is going to lead that. Like the policy we just passed, we be able to go through our discipline committee and look at that policy. Do we want to rewrite this? Do we want to do something different? But there's some things by state law that we have to follow. But I can say at our schools, I don't think any student has been treated unfairly by any staff member when it came to electronic devices. We know parents send their kids to school with electronic devices. And I tell my principal, we got bigger fish to fry than, worrying about little stuff like that. So we talk about that stuff internally, and then we put it out for our students to follow and our schools to follow. Next slide. This is our leadership retreat we did a couple of weekends ago with the supervisors. It was a great team event, and we read a book called Shifting the Monkey. And sometimes you got to move monkeys out your way if you want to get a job done. And that was a great book. Because not all monkeys going to be on board with what you're trying to do.
That's right.
And that's the book that they had us read, and we're going to make it a book study going into next year. Now, as a superintendent, I'm going to make sure I put the right monkeys in the right place, and the ones who don't want us to see the vision, we're going to move on.
That's right.
Next one. Thanks to the mayor, he gave our students some bikes at our schools, so we appreciate that partnership. Next slide. This is my student advisory council. Sometimes I think they just want to come eat, so they be happy to show up and get out of class, but that's them right there telling me everything that's going on in the schools that's good and that's not so good. Next slide. This is our perfect attendance students at Byrd Avenue. Ms. Mingo and her staff doing a good job recognizing those students. Next slide. And then for the teachers and students of the year, you know, because we have tax dollars coming in, we're able to pay for meals and things. Look, it's a lot of little things people don't see that these funds pay for, but we just don't advertise. So I was able to take the students of the year, even the ones who participated and didn't win, they went as well, and the teachers of the year out to at Golden Pear. So it's a lot of the things that we do. I don't advertise because, you know, I won't be saying that, oh, he's just doing this for likes, or he's doing this for Facebook, or he's just taking pictures because he want to be seen by the public. It's a lot of things that go on in this district that we should advertise more, and I think we need to start doing that because we're doing a lot of great things. Our staff work hard. The staff in Bogaloo City Schools work very hard to support these schools and students. Right. Very hard, and I stand 10 toes down behind every one of them because I know where their heart is. But like I say, and I get it, board members, everybody's not going to always agree. And as a leader, in my experience, people have not always agreed with how I lead, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, you hired me to do a job, to make sure I make decisions what's best for the district and not individuals. But some people, no matter who it is, no matter what you do, you ain't gonna please them. Every decision that I make, I'm gonna make somebody happy, but on the other hand, I'm gonna make somebody mad. So I'm not doing this for likes. I love what I do, and as I see this district move forward, I'm gonna make decisions that I think is best for this district. Amen. And when I need to consult with certain people about certain areas, I'm gonna consult with them because I'm not an expert in anything. But I do know how to work with people. So thank you, board. You can trust that I'm going to make decisions what's best for this district. And one comment that Ms. Watkins made, that when I decided to give my old high school $1,996, it wasn't me. My entire class put that money up. So to insinuate that I stole from Bogalusa to give to my high school, I don't like that.
I didn't insinuate, I said it.
Well, it's wrong.
I didn't
It's wrong.
anything.
So my high school, and we do that every year. We graduated in 1996, so we donate $1,996 back to the high school to whatever department, which I tried to do here and got backlash. Because we're trying to give back. Thank you, Ms. Walker. It's my floor now, not yours.
You call my name.
So I'm going to do what's right for the students in this district. And one thing I ain't get to where I'm at by stealing, lying, or anything else. So I'm going to put that on the table, put that on record. Thank you.
All right. There you go. Oh, you're welcome. All right, next we have superintendent evaluation. Ms. McGee, superintendent didn't want to go in executive session. He just fine. He fine right in.
Okay.
Fine right in.
Okay, if you'll look back in your TIL folder, the second stapled packet I gave you was the superintendent's evaluation final scoring. Each person was given a evaluation, blank evaluation that was conducted by Hammond and Seals Law Office, who conducted and helped Dr. Hurst and you as a board create his contract. And the lawyer took the contract and created this evaluation based on his contract. So he was evaluated in educational programs and planning. And you will see what I did on each of these is I've taken each one of your scores and divided them by the number of board members and gave him a total score. Okay, so those scores are listed there. Then relationship with the school board, the final was on each one of those line items, tallied and divided by the number of board members. Personnel, how you rated him on personnel. Business and financial management. community relationships, individual characteristics, job-related characteristics, performance objectives, and the last one, performance targets. These were all in his contract, and you will see his final score that was tallied. Are there any questions on how this evaluation was completed? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Cates?
Thank you. Go ahead.
I made my evaluation based off of my experience with the superintendent, but I also asked members of the community. And though they may not be as vocal or may not be represented here, everyone that I spoke with had nothing but great things to say about the direction that we're going, the vision that we have, and the strides that we're taking. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And I'm very proud of the work we've done, and I know that we chose the right person to be our superintendent. I'm very proud of it.
Any other board members comments?
Yes, I'd like to say that, excuse me, I don't think there's anybody in this room that, care whether you believe it or not. The sister moving I do. This is my heart. This is where I was born. This is where my mom walked the streets to get us mixed like this. But everything that we do, it's always room for improvement. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And so you can do good things, but you can still improve. And when I say things, they might sound negative, and sometimes they are negative, but they're coming from my heart, and I really and truly believe it. I voted for Dr. Hurst myself, and I do think he's doing a good job. But I also think he can improve. The board members can improve. We're not perfect. And you all should not get upset with people because they don't agree with you. People have the right to their own opinion, their own mind. And like you people here, most of you don't even come to board meetings every week. There are a lot of things that I know that you don't even know you haven't experienced. And I'm not asking you to because you're not a board member. But I tell you this, I love this system. I'm going to do what's right. And I told you this, if I had to stand alone, God put me here and God will tell me what to do. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. No, it's not all right, and it's not all good, and we're not all perfect, but we are striving, and we are trying to do better as a system. But we should be open, the board should be open to constructive criticism also. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. The only way you can improve is when people constructively criticize you, and you try and do better. That's all I'm saying. I love you. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep standing by myself, but I'm going to keep striving for this Bogalusa City School System because this is my home.
Any other board members?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot I would like to say, but some of it I would like to say in private with certain individuals. I'm not a real public person, even though I am a public elected official. I think that I've contributed to the betterment of Bogalusa City Schools during my tenure. I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. You can ask Mr. Chad Harris. I support the band. He's tried to get me to take a picture to be published more than once, and I've denied it. I don't care who knows. I don't advertise it myself. I support the JROTC. A sergeant major can attest to that. I've supported baseball. Mr. Cates and myself, mainly Mr. Cates. That's why we got a $1.3 million track over there now in partnership with Temple Inland and others. We work together with the finance department and other things to see that track was put back in service. That is the only track in Washington Parish. The track that we had was unserviceable to our students and athletes. It was dangerous. But we now have a quality, state-of-the-art track facility that needs to be utilized daily. And in addition to those things, I mean, we have program, and we know, and I think a lot of y'all may know, that we have students that are not college bound. They don't want to go to college. You know, they want to enter the workforce. So again, Mr. Cates had the lead on this, partnering with Temple Inland, because he's a former employee of them. We have created a program within our school where, in partnership with Temple Inland, and they pretty much wrote the program. They provide the personnel in the mill, and we have in our ag shop, whatever you want to call it now, we have a program that teaches pipe fitting and logistics. And I may be off on my numbers, but I think currently, you know, we have 9 students that are employed at Temple Inland full time. Full time. And in addition to our current program, we're in our 2nd year or 3rd year of a summer internship in the paper mill with students that meet all the requirements and criteria that the mill puts forth to work in a summer program, making close to $20 an hour. So, you know, you can't say Bogaloo City Schools is bad. And you know, just the scope of what we have to deal with from the Louisiana Department of Education and the Bessie Board that give us, dictate and mandate to us what we have to do. And I've seen it time and time again where we've been recognized by the State Department of Education on substantial gains in the education of the children in Bogalusa, and then 3 months later, they changed the rules. They changed the assessment of how they gave us the recognition, and instead of being a C, we might be a F because of the State Department of Education. You know, it's just been an uphill battle since I've been on this board. And you know, for a number of years, I spent more time in Baton Rouge at the State Department of Education and the Bessie Board in a 6 or 8 month time than I've spent in my entire life. I didn't get paid for that. That was at my expense. Going to legislative committee meetings, sitting in the legislature and monitoring education bills that were important to the city of Bogalusa and the state of Louisiana to educate our children. And got my eyes open. Sometimes they listen, most times they don't. And you may think that about this board.
That's right.
But as a board, I'm one individual. But I think it was a unanimous vote for Dr. Hurst when we hired him. Dr. Hurst works for the board. He is our only employee. We are not employees of the school system. We have employees out here that I think do a phenomenal job in educating our children.
Right.
And a lot of times they don't get the recognition that they deserve. But, you know, I like I said, I'm a behind the scenes guy. I visit campuses, I talk to teachers, I talk to principals. They know if they have an issue or they have a need and they can't get anywhere, they can contact me. I'll help them. And like I said, I've supported most all of the extracurricular activities at Bogalusa High School, even before my tenure on the board. I can't tell you how many times I've raked and dragged the baseball diamond over the years. Just a group of former lumberjacks. But it's not about me. That's all I got to say.
Any other board member?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Creel, for your extra time, and you know he does all those things he just says, and he'll pick up trash too, walking around these campuses, things like that. And thank you, Dr. Cook, for taking up being our new vice president, and much thankful for the track that we just mentioned, who we named the facility after, Coach Gary McGee. And
I apologize for not recognizing you, my friend.
thank you so much for all you've meant and those students you mentored all those years, whether being coach, principal. And we had some tough times back in those days in the 60s, and my dad was with you, and y'all did an excellent, awesome job of keeping things, the tension lowered in our school system when things were really tough in Bogalusa during those days. Thank you so much, Coach McGee. We love
Good evening, everyone. Again, I want to iterate what as a board, we're responsible. I think that a lot of time discussions have been made, accusations have been talked about, and they don't know, we don't know the full details until what we have to go through, what we supported from the school. Our support as a board is 100% for the school, for the education, and for the direction of our teachers. And we look forward for them to go forward in life. And as mentioned earlier, some of them go to college, some go to the workforce, some go into the military. But we expect quality students while they're here to get educated. And we put in things into force, and we expect it, but the state will come down as Mr. Creel had just mentioned, will change it in the last minute, and we have to work with that. So to say we're not doing a thing, we have to look at the whole picture, and to also give to a reference to Dr. Hurst for what he has done over these last 2 years since I've been on the board. He keeps us informed of everything that goes on within the school. I mean everything. How many text messages we have got received. Amen. Have go to the hospital, doing this, whatever it may happen, he's there. He's also travels to different sporting events, not just football or basketball, but he's at volleyball. He's been supported with the ROTC, and he's supported other things. A lot of times, we criticize what's not being done, and then you're not there. You're not there. I'm just being honest, you're not there. At our events, these kids here come here and travel. They got full-time retired military personnel who's taking up their time to train these kids. You're not there. Basketball games, you're not there. Baseball games, you're not there. Track events, you're not there. And here you are tonight at a meeting. We haven't seen you before. Our role is for these kids. And I stand 100% behind my oath for these children, for our educators. I stand 100% behind this board. can 100% thank Mr. Creel for what he has done. We have had conversations. I had conversation with each one of these members of the board. But the thing is this. We're not here to appease anybody. We're not here to make a title. My responsibility is to what I took the oath for. My responsibility is to Bogalusa High School, Bogalusa Central Elementary, Bird Avenue, North Side. That's what we're responsible for. That's what we look for. You have people who have paved the way already, and yet you don't recognize it. You have paved who have gone diligently behind hours and hours of training, trying to make sure the budget is right, make sure our children get to the place where they have to be, training our band to go into the next level. You're not seeing that, but you're pointing the finger. We're not here to point the finger. We're not here to criticize. We're here to uplift. Yes, criticism is there. There's always room for improvement for the best person. But yet we have to learn how to be in unity. And as I step into the position as vice president, it is my desire to continue to get the board to where it needs to be, to the school, to the students that they need to be, that they will have the resources that they need to make it to the next level. Thank you.
Well, as president of the board, which this board elected me president, and I've been in politics a good while, and I know they have critics out there, and critics gonna always be out there. But my heart is with Bogalusa school system. I'm a graduate of Bogalusa High School. I've been here all my life. And I'm not gonna do anything to hurt no kid. We're here for the betterment of kids. But we got critics out there who don't even know what's really going on. Bogalusa school, board meetings, everything is public. All you gotta do is come down here and ask for it. You don't have to get it from neither one of these board members. If they choose to talk to you, they choose to talk to you. But if you want it, everything here is public information. We had a good superintendent. A man came in here to help turn this system around. This man only have to report to me, but when he got here, I told him report to every board member, not just me. And he sent every board member. What he tell me, he tell them at the same time when he sent out the text. We transparent. There's nothing hid from anybody. You know, all I got to say is we moving forward. We got a good superintendent because I done been through 7 superintendents, and this the only man that came in here and did the job the way it should be done. So to our critics, be a critic. Because I know the parents in Bogalusa school system is for their children, and I know they're going to support their children, and I know this community support this board. Thank you, and that's all I have to say. And do we have any other?
Can I just let the public know that our books are always open?
Open.
If you want to come in and sit down with Ms. Walker, Ms. Tillman, any one of my staff members to break something down for you, they will do it.
Public information. Ain't hid from nobody. Ain't hid from nobody. If you want it, all you got to do is come see it. That's all you got to do. Ms. Mitchell, you want to say something?
I'm a former employee of Bogalusa City School System. I'm retired with 35 years. And I was dedicated to my job and to the children. And we have some good people working. We really do. We have in the past, we have now. I was elected by the public in my district as a school board member, and I take it serious. Whatever you may say, whatever you may think. And I was an employee when the millage came about being voted on by the public. And we have to have this for our schools to survive. Because if you think we're in bad shape now and you want to criticize us for what we do, lose this, and you're gonna see.
That's
right.
You're going to see what it will be. And I'm proud to sit here in this, behind this table as a board member. And you can ask people in my district, and they will tell you what I am, and I take this serious, no matter what you may say. And Ms. Dolores, I want to tell you, I've known you for many, many years. We worked together for many years, and I think you do a fantastic job with our family.
All right. Okay, as we move on, we go to public participation, public session. Lieutenant, he spoke. He spoke. Lieutenant Rashawn Harris.
She stepped away, sir.
Okay. Jody Knight. Give your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Jody Knight, 909 North Border Drive. I am Cadet Major Jody Knight. I am second command over the program, and I'm Student of the Year. For the past 3 years, the district has supported our program with over $30,000. I'll be covering the portions of technology and educational support that it offers. Technology-wise, the district has bought us 3 laptops, 2 desktops, and 2 printers, approximately $2,000. Educational-wise, they have supported us attending LYS, Louisiana Youth Seminar. The first 2 years we've went, it was about $2,700 for 3 students. Last year, it was $3,600, and this year, it is estimated to be $3,900. We appreciate the funds and money that the district has offered our program.
Thank you. Thank you. Jordan Tate.
Jordan Tate, 1107 Spruce Avenue. Good evening.
Good evening.
The expenses for the JRTC program, purchase sabers for the saber team. The district has spent $1,000 for that, and archery equipment, as we've been having archery training for 2 weeks, for the past 2 weeks, doing good. That's for $4,000 in expenses. It's a new sport that's bringing it to the school and bringing it to the ROTC program, and it's allowing the cadets to have more opportunities to experience more things in life, besides doing drill and Raider and just marching parades. And so for myself, I've been doing good with the archery. High score was 28. Hit the bullseye a few times. And thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right. Tyler Williams.
My name is Tyler Williams. I live at 118 Welch Drive, and I'm up here speaking on the contributions that the district has made to our Raider program. The district has made significant contributions over the years to our Raider program. This includes not just equipment, not just storage facilities, but also helping us get to and from our national competitions. The district purchased 10 rucksacks for us last year, which had a value of around $1,000. We use these rucksacks almost every week. We use them to train our upper bodies. We use them as weights to curl. We run with them to build our stamina. We throw them over 8-foot walls. These rucksacks are really integral to our building of the skills for our Raiders, so we really appreciate these. The district also purchased a $2,000 utility shed for us, which we store the rucksacks in. We store our 90-pound litters, our empty litters, our water cans, our ammo cans, all of the gear that we use for Raider that we use to operate our state Raider competition we have at Cassidy Park every year. We store it in there, so we really appreciate the purchase of this utility shed, and we're making great use out of it. The district also paid for, I think around 2 years ago, they paid for $2,000 worth of transportation for us to go to Daytona, Florida Beach for the Daytona National Raider competition. They did it last minute. We didn't have a bus. We were about to cancel the whole competition, and we got the money, and thankfully we were able to go. It was our first time. We showed out. We got a lot of useful information on how to improve, and we really appreciate it. actually, this year, the district plans to pay for $10,000 worth of transportation and miscellaneous fees to go to Florida. So we really do appreciate that, because every national competition we get to go to, we get useful information on how to build our cadets, and we get useful information on like obstacle courses. That's another big thing that we plan on implementing. But those are the current things that the district has paid for us. Right now I want to cover the future plans for us. Hopefully that the district can keep supporting us in these future endeavors. Some of our future plans include, but aren't limited to, another Florida PT and drill national competition. We plan to go to the National Raider competition and the drill competition in Florida next year. This will cost approximately $15,000. I think around 2 weeks ago, we went to a drill competition. It was the first one in like the past 5 years. We placed first in girls color guard, second boys color guard, second on arm regulation, and third PT test. That's after 5 years of not going to a drill ceremony. So.
All right. All right.
So we're really excited for that. We also plan to go to LYS again. We plan on sending 3 student body and 3 of our cadets, which costs around $4,000. LYS stands for Louisiana's Youth Seminar. I spoke on that on the last meeting. I really suggest. Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right. Sarge.
First Sergeant Riders, 100 MJ Israel Drive. I can't give you my address because I'm not from Louisiana. All I'm going to say, I am proud of these kids and all 100 cadets that I do have in the program. If it wasn't for this millage to actually support our program, because the government does not fund everything that we have. As most of y'all know, I've been here for 12 years. Thanks to that good man back there for hiring me. I dedicate all my time for these precious children right here. Nothing else, nothing more. School board, superintendent, principals, they all can get mad at me. My focus is here. So thank you for everything you got. About 3 or 4 years ago, I hit that young lady up right there. This man here, when he came on board, my kids get to be recognized. They get to travel places. They get to do great things. Yeah. Showcase what Bogalusa is all about. I am proud of that endeavor. I get goosebumps sitting there talking, so I thank each and every moment. I'm going to ask for more. You know I will. Superintendent messed up. He made a comment. I got it. It's in. Mr. Lawyer's got everything. I'm rolling. So I want these kids to be showcased. Third in rope bridge at Nationals. Impressive. That's an improvement. The physical nationals, we placed within the top 7 on certain events for my females. I look forward to taking these kids this year to get something better for that. We're looking at national archery. That's coming up. That's in the future. As you know, Jordan Tate is my top archer right now in the battalion. I'm looking forward to putting a team together, send these kids up to Louisville, Kentucky to expose them, put Bogalusa on the map so people know. Because I'm not from here. People say, you in Bogalusa? I said, yes, and I'm proud of it because of that right there. Last thing before I go, I have over 30 kids that's in the military, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Army. And I will say I have my first drill instructor in the Marine Corps. That's her parent right back there. I have a Navy sailor that came to see me not too long ago. She did more in 1 year than I did in 23 years of my service. And I've been in all kind of combat deployments and everywhere. She did more in 1 year than I did in 20-something years, and I told her I was proud of her. I got a kid that's been in the Army just as long as I've been at Bogalusa High School. Been here 12 years. That kid's been 11 years in the Army, staff sergeant in the Army. Planning on retirement. God help him. I hope he goes there. Every one of my kids, out of 90% of my kids that went in the Army, they are still in today. Only 2 are out. So all my kids, I contact with them every day. I shouldn't say that. I'll be lying. On a weekly basis, I'm in contact with them. You ask me where they're at, I'll tell you exactly where they're at and what they're doing because I keep in touch with my precious young children. Thank you for your time. Go on.
Thank you, Bob. Oh, God. Renika Watkins.
Renika Watkins, 707 Mississippi Avenue. I was trained on the principle of trust but verify. I believe that as a community, we are deliberately being kept from understanding the operations of Bogalusa City School by this board of 7, as referenced by your comments indicating that you talk and text, but you don't come here and engage us as in a community on the business of Bogalusa City Schools. You all claim that parents aren't involved, but fail to recognize that you don't provide them with the tools, resources, and meetings necessary to participate. You cram everything in one night. That's not right. All of you are just rubber stamping actions that are damaging our system. A fresh coat of paint and a new room won't improve our academics. Parents and guardians, if your child can't pass the reading leap in the 3rd grade, they will be held back until they do. A couple of hours of tutoring won't solve it. Apps all day in the classroom won't fix it. We need our teachers and principals to have the capacity to discuss the issues with us and be actively involved in finding solutions. Education funding will decrease due to changes at the federal level. The 1% sales tax that amounts to 1 cent on every purchase in Washington Parish helps finance meals checks and school operations. It is not on the ballot. But let's examine that money. The $4 million plus per year will go to support these contracts with friends and family before it reaches your pockets, certified or not. The term eligible employee has never been defined by the policy or personnel committee. Where did it originate from, and who authorized the ability to deny pay to our workforce that you praise, but you voted to not put money in their pockets? Staff, if you find yourself advocating for the renewal of taxes, be aware that during the lean years, the elected members of the school board voted to give you $0 and 0 cents of that money to keep the doors open while every contract is paid. Vote against the 6.43 mills on the ballot until we are given a full accounting of the money for the last 10 years, given the exact language that will be put on the ballot that state law says must be simple, unbiased, concise, and easily understood. Let's have an idea of who will run for the board in 2026 and oversee our money and supervise the behavior of the board's only employee, the superintendent of schools, who acts as a secretary and treasurer of the board. Vote no to the sales tax renewal and end this 4-day school week. And I actually like the ROTC. They're very nice kids and good kids, and I'm proud to see them stand up here for themselves. But parents, you need to get up, you need to get out, you need to speak up for the things that you don't like, that cost you money, and is being taxed on your properties. Thank you.
Stephen Franklin.
Stephen Franklin, 1010 Lincoln Street. I'm here just to thank y'all. I mean, I stepped in Bogalusa City Schools, I think 5 years ago, back right after COVID. And I love the schools, I really do. But my first love was the band. You know, before I even started my first day of school, I was introduced to the band. And the band has taken me many places, that's many other kids too, taken us many places, introduced us to many things, let us open up doors to many opportunities that I never imagined. I know, this get harder every time I get up here, but okay. I know, thinking back when I first got down here, I probably thought I didn't fit in, but as soon as I walked through them doors, I felt love. And then meeting new people out of town, going to trips and conferences and camps and stuff, I met new people, and I just thank y'all for the opportunities, keeping us traveling, parades, games, late nights in the band room practicing till we got it right. Sometimes sitting home and came back to get it right. But yeah, it's been an honor, and then I know it's a lot of kids who really can thank the band to where they are right now. I have a sister at Southern University Jukebox along with a line brother that's there. They doing good, and I know they thank that to the band. I mean, and I thank y'all for y'all support. It's a lot of things we may not get to do, but it's a lot of things y'all make sure we do to help us improve and get to that next level. So I thank y'all for that. And then like the superintendent said, we got them new uniforms. So when y'all see us parade season looking like Southern, just know, yeah, that's us. We representing y'all. Right? So yes. So I just thank y'all for what y'all doing. I hope that y'all keep on doing more to help uplift the schools and help uplift our students. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Devin Adams.
Devin Adams, 1501 North Roosevelt Street. I come here on the behalf of all student councils at Bogalusa High School to say thank you for allowing us to do what we're able to do, Dr. Hurst. And also thank you to the school board for allowing us to have a student-led organization to help give ideas to what we do on campus. Honestly, we haven't been as active as we should been, but we do have some ideas in the making that we do plan on running by you and our principals. So I hope we do get these passed in the future.
Thank you. Chad Harris.
Good evening. Chad Harris, 231 Beale Street, Bogalusa, Louisiana. I just wanted to come and, first of all, I'm going to kind of go up the ladder. I want to start with the finance team here at the board office. A lot of people, and I tell my kids all the time, they see the finished product. What we give you all on Friday nights and during parades is the finished product. You don't see all of the hard work, a lot of people that goes into what we actually do. And I like to run a first class organization, with a $1 menu budget. So I am constantly talking to other band directors and some of the best bands in the state and the country to see what they have and what they do and what it takes to have a band of the caliber. So I am constantly going to Miss Walker and her staff and saying, what can we do, to get it? She said, you got to talk to the superintendent. And so most of the time I have enough nerve to go talk to Dr. Hurst, and I may not ask him the first time, but eventually I kind of know. I say, is he in a good mood today? How's he doing? And they say, oh yeah, go talk to him. But nevertheless, anything that I've asked for these kids, the answer is always yes. I've never come on the behalf of myself. It's always the kids, and I just wanted to say that these kids mean the world to me. I recently met with Miss Walker and one of her staff members about retirement because I wanted to see, because I'm at the retirement age, well not age, but I have the years next year, and I was saying what retirement would look like for me. And I know that even though I'm saying that I know that retirement is going to come, I have to just wait on God to tell me that my time at Bogalusa High School is finished. So until then, I want to keep inspiring these kids because they have so much potential. And if you watch the Super Bowl, we had 2 students from Bogalusa High School that are a part of the Human Jukebox that performed in the Super Bowl. And the week before that, they were in California performing and touring California. We have kids who are doing wonderful things. And in 2012, I started a fraternity on the campus of Bogalusa High School. It's called Beta Beta Lambda. It's the Alpha chapter. And I'm going to ask my kids, when was Beta Beta Lambda founded?
Beta Beta Lambda was founded in 2012 on the campus of Bogalusa High School in the Magic City of Bogalusa, Louisiana, by Mr. Chad A. Harris.
And so, with that saying, I just want y'all to know we love you.
Finish up. Go on, finish up. I give you that, right? Finish up.
And also, I just want to leave you with this. Everything, I know it's not going to go the way everybody wants, but this poem that we learn, it's a testament to who we are and what we believe in. Invictus.
Out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole. I think whatever God's may be, my unconquerable soul. In the failed close to circumstance, I have not witnessed no crying aloud. Under the bloody kings of chance, my head is bloody, but I'm bound. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, glooms with the horror of shame. And yet the man of the years, silence shall find me unafraid. If that is not how I share the gate, I charge the punishment to strong. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul.
And as I leave you all, I want to leave you all the way that we leave our band room every single day because we instill pride in every student. Band, what's our motto?
Look proud, play proud, be proud, and you're proud in Magic City.
Thank you.
All right. Dana Walker.
Y'all gonna be in Kentwood Saturday, right?
We will be marching alongside Southern University that was just in the Super Bowl on this Saturday, Kentwood at 12 o'clock. They featured 2 bands on the flyer, Southern University. You can look at the flyer. There's half Southern and there's half Bogalusa High School marching band. There are 8 other marching bands in the parade from local high schools and that are supposed to be stellar, but there are only 2 mentioned on the flyer, and that's Southern University and the Big Bad Lumberjack.
Dana Walker, 1607 Hillsdale Street, Bogalusa, Louisiana. I wanted 2 corrections. The valedictorian Student of the Year for 2024 wasn't in JROTC, so I read that somewhere. However, the salutatorian was in JROTC, and I want you all to know that I went to his graduation, his Navy Academy graduation. I was the only one from Bogalusa. He wanted me there. I paid money and I went, Ashton Crater, and they talked so highly. They said, who trained him? I guess you can look at me, I didn't train him. but they spoke very highly of Ashton, and thank y'all for what you do for him. He's actually in school to be a nuclear engineer for the Navy, so that's awesome.
All right.
For as ADAPT, I wanted to say that, we have 180 youth in the Washington Parish Youth Coalition, and they take the leaders, they pick the leaders of the coalition, and they try to get someone from each school to represent to go to Washington, D.C. every year. And this year, the person that went is Mr. Stephen Franklin. So he represented well Bogalusa City Schools. Regina Mychick is the sponsor, and she called every day, and she wanted to let me know what Stephen was doing, myself, and she was letting Katasha know. And he gave them positive vibe. He encouraged them, even the staff, the students, to just, because it was cold in D.C., and they said his positive energy helped them those days that was there. And he also, of course, made the legislator, Leto, and what's the other one that y'all talked to? Cassidy. He made them laugh, and he was speaking, saying what they could use here for Bogalusa, Bogalusa City Schools. So y'all be proud of Stephen. He represented Bogalusa City Schools well. All right. I was on a parent committee last year, and I told Ms. Tillman that I wanted to be on it again this year. I love being here because you all gave us a voice. And so thank you for that voice. And I see that you all are implementing what we talked about in those meetings, so thank you. We asked for more dual enrollment classes for the kids and different programs, and so we truly appreciate y'all for doing that. And I don't have a biological child still in BCS, but I do have other kids, so next time I want to be on the committee. Again, the counselors are doing well at Bogalusa High School. I'm speaking with Ms. Moses and Ms. Sherry Burton about the ACT scores, because we need, as a community, we need to try to help bring our ACT. I was giving praise on for ADAP. Let me talk about Brilliant Minds right fast. So, I love being able to call Ms. Moses and Ms. Sherry and talk about what's needed, what can we do in the community, like Brilliant Minds or any other organization, to help our kids outside of the school. So we do offer the ACT program, and I thank them for, talking about, okay, look, this is what we need. And so let me tell you, I don't care if Brilliant Minds, the school system, any other organization is offering workshops, parents got to get their kids out.
Yeah.
They have to get their kids out. So that's what we as parents, we have to do better. But thank you all for everything that you do. And let me tell you something. Y'all need y'all need to save money and try to get much money as you can, because you never know. Chad, you ought to be thankful, because I just took some kids, Megan will tell you, we just took some kids to the Super Bowl experience, Bogalusa kids, almost 40 kids. We took them to the Super Bowl experience. I had to pay $800 for a bus to take those kids to be exposed and have that experience. So with you all helping the different organizations, providing bus for them, that helps. That helps. So thank you.
Stephanie Warren.
Can I add something Ms. Walker said? I'm glad to hear that you said our councils are doing good at the high school. Actually, the Student Advisory Council, my juniors and seniors, said they really appreciate the changes that were made because these councils are actually meeting with those students and families and explaining them the track. But in order to get there, I had to do an audit of our records, and what we uncovered was not good for our students. So I made some changes. And that's what leadership is.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna always agree, but at the end of the day, it's gonna fall on me, so I gotta make those decisions, those tough decisions.
And I appreciate it, because I was one of the parents that came and knocked on your door and you opening Aunt Tillman door about a staff member that I felt wasn't doing in the best interest of our students. But now those kids over there happy that they able to walk and speak with those counselors and see if they on track, and the parents are too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Warren, and my address is 907 Marshall Richardson Road. I had a lot to say, but it's been too much for me tonight. But I am a former member, former employee, proud former employee of Bogalusa City Schools. But now I'm also now a proud employee of North Shore Charter. And sometimes it gets kind of hectic, but we have to agree to disagree. But my heart is with this band, and the band is a place for everybody. And I didn't want to speak, and I told Mr. Chad to take my name out, but I can't not speak and let the kids see that you can come and be at peace with all the things that are going on between the schools. But there are no restrictions with the band. I've seen this band turn shy and nonverbal students into the most confident students on campus. Band gives students a home and a family, and I thank you for allowing Mr. Chad and myself, because you all still allow me to work with the band, the opportunity of being a part of them, because this band does save our kids. Thank you.
Thank you. We want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Meeting adjourned.